TBMN, the monster that you mentioned, breathing history is also a small initiative to fight all those four monsters, but I never put him like that. This is
Yeah.
such a better way of putting it together.
Yeah, I
But
saw it,
let's do.
and I do appreciate the work you're doing. That's great.
Thank you. Um, so let's do one by one. So the Thames Nadi, Vidya Mandir that you call it, Thames Nadi Vidya Mandir.
Avidya,
So you
Avidya
think
Mandir, not Vidya
Vidya,
Mandir.
yeah,
Avidya.
Thames, oh Vidya Mandir, yes,
Yes, that's
that's a
right.
better way of saying it, right? Um, do you think that the ignorance about the itihasa, which you also mentioned, that the
Huh.
magnificent itihas that we have, that when the kids nowadays see a bearded man walking down the street, they always compare them to Santa Claus and not some Muni or Rishi. Then they don't even know how to name Agastya Muni or anybody else. So,
Yeah.
do you think that is obviously because of the Thames Nadi Avidya Mandir?
Yeah, it's been systematically eradicated. This look, I've read a book written by a Britisher. I mean, I haven't read it entirely because it's so fat. It's like so many volumes. I got it from archive.org and I xeroxed it and, I mean, printed it out and now it's this much. But one of my students was reading it. I asked her to read it and tell me what's in it because I don't have time. And she told me that uh, the British studied us for 145 years before they hatched their plan to eliminate our education, our cultural education. They said we have to spoil the culture because they're getting educated through their culture. We spoil their culture only we can dominate them, and this was decided and planned. So the Thames Nadi education was designed to create clerks for them, which they
Mhm.
write as clerk, but they say clerk.
Clouds, yeah.
Uh, so that and because they were busy looting the country and they needed to do it in an accountable way because they needed to show the queen that they're not putting anything into their pockets. So because of all that accountability, they needed clerks. So this is basically designed. That was the first multinational corporation, East India Company, and
Yeah.
these were the first corporate employees, the ones who got educated in Thames Nadi. Until now,
Mhm.
they're doing corporate employees only. Nobody has
Really.
any way to earn a living after they go to this education system because they can only do clerk work. So now the clerks have upgraded to computers, and
Mhm.
they're a clerk in a cubicle somewhere after this education. That's the highest life you can expect after this education, to sit in a cubicle.
Yeah. Sadly.
If you're a bigger rat, then you can sit in a big cabin and call yourself CEO.
Yeah.
But that's it. You can't do anything more than that. You will not have a proper relationship with anybody in the company. You're operating on all this Maslow's principle, and you're talking about the only two ways of motivation being the stick and the carrot.
Mhm.
Don't people get motivated by purpose, man? Where's that in the bloody management books? So I
They
motivate
talk
my
about it,
company
but
by
very
purpose.
superficially. They talk about it, but very superficially.
They don't
That,
apply it. They're not sincere about it.
yeah.
They're just not sincere about it, which really breaks my heart because a lot of people had to suffer because of it. Thousands of my countrymen are suffering because of it. No, if you go into this room behind, I have a
Mhm.
big India flag on top of my Ardhanari statue
Mm.
because I care about my country. Recently, retired General Timmaya came to my house and he
Mhm.
was astonished that I have a flag. And I said, General, why are you astonished? He said, because nobody has a flag in their house. I have a flag fluttering in my house.
Wow.
So he was astonished. And I felt ashamed that General Timmaya should be astonished that we have a flag in our house.
That should be a general behavior, like common thing to
I think
have.
you should worship it like a god in your
Yeah.
house. It's an icon. You got to keep it in your house if you want to do anything for India. Otherwise, it's all about your selfishness.